Clarence Brooks is my name. I am a retired professor of dance of 18 years, and I am currently freelancing with 5 dance companies around the United States.
Me llamo Clarence Brooks, me he retirado desde de 18 años de dar clases y ahora estoy trabajando como freelance con 5 compañías en todo Estados Unidos. La primera pregunta es, ¿cómo te sientes con relación a tu debut como bailarín y coreógrafo en México?
I am excited, thrilled, and nervous, which I think are 3 good things to have for any performance, but especially for something as momentous as this. Mexico City is a cultural capital of the world. And so it is indeed an honor and a privilege to be able to come and perform at this festival and for such an occasion. So I'm very excited, very nervous. I love the 2 pieces that I am performing. They are dynamic, poignant, and I think the audiences that I have been auditioning the pieces for in rehearsal have really seemed to enjoy them as well.
Estoy muy excitado, agradecido y nervioso en relación a la función de México. México es una capital mundial de la cultura y del arte y me da mucho gusto poder estar allí. Las 2 piezas que presento las he mostrado a otras personas para que opinen y parece que realmente van a funcionar muy bien. En Hombre como bebé, Man as a Baby, ¿haces una reflexión acerca de la soledad?
Absolutely. This individual that I am portraying feels as though they're taking care of the last of their loved ones, and that they are the last of their family, of their community, of their kind. And so they are pondering who will be there as a caretaker, as a giver, as a lover, as a friend when it comes their time to leave.
Absolutamente. Es una reflexión sobre gente que está cuidando a otros y piensan, se preguntan si van a tener cuidadores, amantes, amigos o familia que los cuidará a ellos cuando estén en esa situación de necesitar ayuda en la última etapa de su vida.
So this dance floor opens with a absolutely massive bouquet of flowers. Flowers, they have so many different meanings, but in this context, we've got them. We use flowers in weddings. We use them in births. We use them in wedding ceremonies. So many different occasions. In this occasion, it opens in a space of grief. It is as though you were walking into a mausoleum or into a cemetery, and the passages, the moods, the ideas, the emotions all happen in the way in which I quote, deliver, end quote, the flowers. They are there, held. I drop them. I mournfully look at them. I lovingly look at them. I celebrate them. and in the end, I am reborn from the flowers. They give me new life. Their color, their life, their energy re-energizes me.
La obra comienza con un enorme buque de flores, ramo de flores, que tienen una variedad muy grande de símbolos. Se usan en nacimientos, en bodas, en situaciones mortuorias, en los grandes momentos de la vida. Entonces se proyecta a través de la forma en la que yo interacciono con las flores. Las abrazo, las suelto, hago cosas con ellas y al final renazco a través de ellas.
I do want to make sure that I give credit to the choreographers. Man as Baby was choreographed by Andrea Ollarvide, and Floor was choreographed by Michael Foley. Man as Baby, the solo that Andrea choreographed, I'm the only person in the world who does it. It was commissioned. She created it specifically for me, and it was in dialogue that we then created the overall intent and meaning. Floor, I saw a section of it performed by another dancer, and I knew Michael Foley, and so I texted him and said, I love this piece. I would love to do it, but I would ask if I commissioned it to be extended. It was too short. And that is when he said to me that that company that performed it had indeed sliced a good section of the dance out. Why would you do that as somebody that's just the most horrendous thing? But I felt it. And so he then said, you caught on to it. No one else has ever done that. And so you tell me when you want to do it. The piece is yours. So that is my connection to both of them. I have a personal relationship with both choreographers. Oh, I should tell you one more thing, and then I'll let Isabella translate, and then we'll come back to the second half of this question. Fun fact, Andrea was my student as a middle schooler. I had her as a dance major in the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And then she went on, and I thought, let me get something from her, because people were talking about what a beautiful choreographer, and I knew she was an outstanding dancer. I said, let me grab something from her, and I had her come. I said, create something for any of the dancers, group, solos, whatever you want. And she said, nope, I've got a solo for you. And so this is an example of where the teacher becomes the student, where the student becomes the master. So I'll let Isabel translate, and then I'll come back and answer the second half.
Bien, quiero aclarar primero que, bueno, la pregunta fue que si están relacionadas las dos obras. Y el maestro responde que cada una es de un coreógrafo diferente. Uno es de Andrea Ollarvide, que en algún momento fue estudiante, alumna de él en la sección media de su carrera, es decir, años 6, 7 y 8 de la carrera. Y él quiso, antes de que ella se fuera, le pidió que si hacía algo para alguien, para un grupo, para un dueto, un algo, y ella contestó, tengo un solo para ti. Es decir, esa obra fue hecha para el maestro y nadie más la baila. Ese fue Man as Baby, Baby as Man, o al revés. Y la otra obra fue hecha por otro coreógrafo que también fue amigo de él, y la historia nos la contará a continuación.
So to answer the question about what connections there are between the two, they are, to me, two vastly different pieces. There is, they're both solos. There is a sense of isolation about them. But I don't see them as having a real, like one would lead into the other. One should precede or one or the other. They are so distinct in what they require of me as a performing artist to make them work. The floor it begins in a very much kind of buto state, very slow motion. It's got this massive prop that I'm dancing with that helps me take this journey. There is an obvious adagio and somewhat athletic aspect to it that makes it distinct. And then Man as Baby just goes the full gamut. It takes place over the entire stage. It requires me to go from being a quiet, stationary individual to being banging in out movement in all directions, using the floor, getting up, jumping into the air. It's such an expansive range of dynamics in Man as Baby. Floor it takes place in two channels of light. So even the use of the space is very different visually. I think I don't really see, besides being solos and having that little bit of context about loneliness or being alone, that's probably the only connection between them for me.
La pregunta era de qué forma se conectan las dos obras, si es que se conectan, y la respuesta es que no hay dos que podrían ser más distintas. Los únicos puntos de conexión son el que hay una referencia a la soledad y que son solos. Pero mientras que Floor es muy tranquilo y comienza y se manifiesta en el escenario en dos haces de luz nada más, o sea, muy restringido, con una presencia un poco de tipo de buto. La segunda obra, o la otra obra, Man as Baby, usa todo el escenario, pasa por toda la gama de emociones, saltas, bajas, usas el piso, pasas por todos lados. Y bueno, son muy diferentes en su dinámica, en lo que piden del intérprete y en el uso del espacio.
Sure. I started off, I had wanted to be a math teacher. And so I started studying math, and I was extremely good at it. I was tutoring people in my analytic geometry class at the same time as I was in the class. I would just go to the library and sit there and begin to do my homework, and my classmates would walk in and I would start teaching them, tutoring them in what it was that I was doing. I needed a PE, physical education course, and I went to the gym at the community college to sign up for the class. And I had to go through the men's locker room. So when I opened the door to the locker room, this stink, funk, putrid smell came out of the locker room, and I closed the door and I was like, what in the world is that? That's the most disgusting thing. Quickly opened it. Sure enough, it stank. Closed the door, went over to where the women's were, just opened the door and sniffed just to see. There was no aroma, no stink, nothing at all. And I said, that is the most, they must have dead animals in there. It was just putrid. And I said, there is no way I'm going to do that 3 days a week, go into that foul smelling place. No, I am not. So I was going to march down to the counselor and say, I am not taking PE here because of that disgusting place that there was. It was the only way that a male identified person could walk in. On my way to, marching with my, command and my strong will there, I passed through the School of Music and I heard music playing. And I thought, let's calm down. Let's go and listen to the music. There was a woman who was teaching people how to move to just the music. And it was a blend of ballet and modern dance, and specifically Graham is what I eventually learned. And it was a 6 or an 8 week course. And so she saw me. She beckoned me into the class because it was the first day of the class. And so I went in. There were everybody was dressed in their street clothes because we weren't dancers. We were singers and we were actors, so all singers and actors, and me, the math major. And at the end of the class, I, of course, was sweating. I was breathing heavy. I was like, what is this class? And she said, well, we're starting this one class just for 8 weeks. And I said, I am going to go sign up for this class because it has got to count for a PE credit. And with that, I went down and the counselor agreed after she looked at my sweaty clothes and said, you can take this course. So I'll let you translate that and then I'll come back with more information.
Bien, la pregunta es cómo llegaste a la danza o si nos puedes decir un poco más acerca de tu carrera. Pues bien, el maestro fue un maestro de matemáticas y se le facilitaba de modo que era el tutor de sus propios compañeros. Les ayudaba en la biblioteca cuando venían a preguntarle. Y en la carrera les pedían que tenían que hacer unos créditos en educación física. Entonces, bueno, se fue al gimnasio, abrió la... Abrió la puerta y salió un olor del vestidor de hombres y salió un olor que fue lo más asqueroso que ha olido en su vida. Pensó que había animales muertos ahí. Luego metió la cabeza al vestidor de mujeres y no olía nada. Qué bueno. Total, dijo, no voy a hacer eso. Y saliendo del corredor, oyó música y dijo, me calmo. Y vio que había una clase con gente que eran cantantes y actores. Y bueno, la maestra le dijo que entrara, que era el único de matemáticas. Hicieron una clase que después supo él que era de Graham. Y y él dijo, no, esto tiene que contar como una clase de educación física como maestro, y le aceptaron el crédito. Era un curso de 8 semanas. Okay.
So this teacher, her name was Gail Riggs, and she was a local renowned ballerina and choreographer with the local professional ballet company. And she taught at 2 universities, and she'd also trained at the Martha Graham School with Martha Graham. So I was getting fabulous firsthand material, given to people who weren't dancers. And she was hired to choreograph a musical at that community college. And so that's why they were having the class. And so she came up, she told us that the great Native American ballerina, Maria Tallchief, was coming to town, and that we could, as beginners, go and listen to her speak. It was free. We could watch or take classes, but she was going to teach a professional advanced masterclass on stage that those who would take it were going to pay something like, $25. And in 1980, that was a whole lot more money than, it is today. So she was, that limited who was going to be on stage. It had to be the best of the best. And I listened to Maria teach or talk, and then I took a beginning musical theater jazz dance class. And at the end of the class, the teacher called me over and he said, you should come back and take the intermediate advanced class. And I was like, oh, no, I couldn't do that. And he said, well, of course you can. You said, didn't you enjoy this class? He said, it's going to be the exact same combination. We'll be teaching it a little faster and we'll add on to it. And most of the dance, just come back and see how you do. I went off and watched Maria teach, and I came back for that class. And sure enough, it was the same combination. So I had a little bit more information than the advanced dancers who were there. And again, I'd only had 8 weeks of dance class. And at the end of the class, there was applause. And then they turned and introduced us to all of the dance faculty, which were in the front of the class, which I hadn't noticed, and the dean and the provost and the president of the university. And they offered me a full scholarship to go to that university, to change my major, to become a dance major and become a dancer. I was 19 when I took that master class. And when I decided to do it, it was that fall. So I was 20 when I started my dance training in a studio.
Bueno, pues después de la señora que estaba dando estas clases, o la clase de estas 8 semanas, fue una de las bailarinas de la compañía local, una de las grandes bailarinas que había tomado clases en la compañía de Martha Graham, en su escuela, por lo que tenía yo material de primera mano. Y después, en algún momento, tomé una clase de jazz. Y bueno, fui a una conferencia, porque nos dijeron que esta conferencia era libre y podíamos escuchar y tal. Y fui y decidí tomar la clase. Bueno, no podía pagar los $25 que costaba, que en los años 80 era un montón de dinero. Y entonces lo que hicieron, bueno, tomé después una clase de jazz de principiantes y me dijeron, porque me dijo el maestro, ¿por qué no tomas la siguiente clase, que es intermedio avanzado? Es el mismo material que tú ya lo vas a conocer cuando llegues y le puedes agregar. Entonces, bueno, después de que dije, no puedo, dije, bueno, pues voy a ver. Fui y lo pude hacer porque efectivamente era el mismo material. Y al final de la clase nos presentaron a quienes la habían estado viendo, que eran desde el director hasta el director de área, o sea, el director de la universidad, el director de área y algunos conocedores más. Y me dijeron, y a raíz de eso, me dieron una beca completa para hacer la carrera de danza, siempre y cuando cambiara de matemáticas a danza. Y así tenía yo en ese momento 19 años, o sea que cuando comencé una manera formal de estudiar, tenía yo 20.
That university was, the university was Oklahoma City University in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
La Universidad de Oklahoma en la capital, en la ciudad de Oklahoma, en el estado de Oklahoma.
And I graduated, or as I was starting there, I did not finish my degree in mathematics because I was transferring to become a dance major at this university. changing universities. And the past dance faculty was being released, and he had come to me and after that first year and said, I don't know why you want to do this. You're too old and nobody will ever hire you as a dancer. And he was the artistic director of the local ballet company where Gail was teaching and dancing. And at the same time, he turns around and says, but I need male dancers, so I'm going to give the ship, and so you'll get classes and get to perform with the company. So he was slapping me down in one hand and then bolstering me with in the other. So it was the strangest thing. And so I took him up on the offer to dance with the company, free classes, again, getting to watch some world-class dancers dancing, all the men who were in the company. And I just made sure I was there for as many rehearsals as possible. Major, I was studying dance, but I was also working as a professional dancer in the local ballet company just because I was a male who could chew gum and walk at the same time. So I left the university where the community college where I was a math major to become a dance major. And the older director of the program was let go, but he was still director of the local ballet company. And he said to me, I don't know why you want to do this. You're too old to be a dancer and no one will ever hire you. And then he turned around and offered me a paid apprenticeship with the company, hiring me to be a dancer in the company. So I had my dance classes at the university were Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then the university or the professional ballet company had classes and rehearsals Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So only 2 days of the week were in the same time as the university. So I was able to do both and basically was dancing 7 days a week for 2 years, which helped bolster my abilities to make significant ground in learning to train to be a dancer in ballet, and then with the ballet company, and then at the university, tap jazz were also part of it.
Bien, pasé un momento extraño en que la misma persona que me dijo que estaba yo demasiado viejo para ser bailarín y que nadie me iba a contratar, al mismo tiempo dijo que necesitaba hombres en su compañía y por lo tanto me invitó a participar en clases y ensayos de la compañía local. De manera que tenía yo 4 días a la semana en la escuela, que tenía principalmente jazz, y con la compañía tenía yo 5 días a la semana de ballet y ensayos. Y de esa manera acabé yo durante 2 años haciendo 7 días a la semana danza, en las que, bueno, pues solo había 2 días que se encemaban los horarios.
So the last part to that question that I would say would be that I graduated, and since 1983 to today, I've danced for over 90 dance companies based in the US, but have toured Western Europe, parts of Asia, and all across the United States.
Y bueno, una vez que me gradué, pues puedo decir que desde esos años 80 hasta la fecha he bailado con 90 compañías de Estados Unidos y he viajado por buena parte de Europa Occidental, algo de Asia y por todos los Estados Unidos.
Yes, the dates are cemented in my head because I'm just so excited. I would love to invite people to come and see me dance and to see these two dances, these two works by two young choreographers, Andrea Ollarvide and Michael Foley. The performances are March 8th and 9th, 8th, 9th, and 10th.
En Centro Cultural Los Talleres. Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Nos
Thank you,
quieren-
Clarence.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. Thank you. I really appreciate this. This was wonderful. I love the whole process. This was very nice.